Every single summer in Philadelphia, the clock starts ticking down toward roster cutdown day, and everyone in the league knows what time it is. Front offices around the NFL start watching their phones with nervous excitement because Howie Roseman does not treat late August like standard evaluation time. He treats it like an open marketplace. While other franchises sit back and worry about cutting their bottom roster players, Philadelphia turns final cuts into calculated power moves, and right now, the tension inside the NovaCare complex is reaching a boiling point. The board is set, the depth chart is bursting with talent, and another aggressive roster shakeup is looming right over the horizon. Before we unpack these massive blockbuster possibilities, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with every diehard fan you know so you never miss an update. When you look across the entire National Football League, how many front offices genuinely attack roster construction with the ruthless aggression and calculated precision we see every single August in Philadelphia? Think about the relentless history that brought this team to where it is today. This is a front office that fundamentally changed the landscape of modern general management. Long before other organizations realized you could manipulate draft capital, exploit compensatory formulas, utilize void years, and aggressively flip preseason assets, Philadelphia was already writing the modern blueprint. This aggressive philosophy has defined over a decade of contention, building a reputation where no player on the fringe is ever completely safe and no roster is ever considered finished. Look back through the receipts of late summer moves over the years, and the pattern is unmistakable. Think back to late August 2016, when trading away Dennis Kelly and Sam Bradford sparked a chain reaction that completely altered the trajectory of the franchise. That same summer, Eric Rowe was sent packing. The very next year, right before the regular season kicked off, Alan Barber, Jordan Matthews, Matt Tobin, Terrence Brooks, and John Derimbos were all dealt away in a flurry of moves that set up a championship run. In 2018, DeAndre Hall was brought in. In 2019, Ryan Bates and Bruce Hector were involved in late swaps. By 2021, Gardner Minshew arrived to stabilize the quarterback room while Matt Pryor was shipped out. The aggressive wheeling and dealing never slowed down. In 2022, after cutting ties with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Ugo Amadi was acquired and quickly flipped, Jalen Reagor was traded away, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson arrived in an absolute masterstroke of late summer trading. In 2023, Albert Okwuegbunam was acquired right at the deadline. Just last year, Jahan Dotson was brought into the receiver room. Thomas Booker was swapped for Jacorian Bennett. Harrison Bryant went to Houston. Sam Howell and Fred Johnson were brought into the building, and Darian Kinnard was sent to Green Bay. History shows us that sitting still is never an option for this organization. As cutdown day approaches, the coaching staff spends every practice and preseason rep evaluating precisely where the weaknesses lie, figuring out who has earned a spot, and identifying which surplus pieces can be turned into valuable future assets. Right now, the most intense battle taking place on the field surrounds the backup quarterback position. During recent practices, Tanner McKee took command by opening up reps as the clear number 2 quarterback on the depth chart, while veteran Andy Dalton operated as the third option and Cole Payton worked as the 4th developmental passer. This sudden shift created an immediate dilemma. Anyone watching the tape from the second preseason clash against New England saw clear separation on the field. Tanner McKee looked poised, sharp, and decisively outperformed Andy Dalton in terms of rhythm, velocity, and execution. Meanwhile, rookie Cole Payton showed flashes of raw, developmental talent when given opportunities, running the offense with intriguing upside. That creates a high-stakes roster crunch. Exposing a promising young signal caller like Payton to the open waiver wire is a massive gamble, because quarterback-needy teams across the league monitor Philadelphia closely and would claim him in an instant. That leaves the front office with a pivotal choice. Do you keep a pricey veteran presence, or do you shop that veteran experience across the league? Some skeptics might wonder if a veteran like Andy Dalton holds genuine trade value at this stage of his career, but several franchises entering the regular season are desperate for a steady, experienced backup who can step into a locker room tomorrow and manage an NFL offense. At the same time, Tanner McKee carries legitimate trade value of his own after stacking together impressive tape. Yet, if the worst-case scenario occurs McKee has clearly demonstrated that he represents the on-field insurance policy. Philadelphia is sitting on a position of supreme leverage, and resolving this quarterback puzzle is going to dictate how the rest of the 53-man roster takes shape. The secondary presents an equally fascinating chess match, headlined by Kali Ringo. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has been vocal about wanting consistent execution, and Ringo has responded with explosive flashes throughout the summer. He snagged a brilliant interception along the back line in the preseason opener and displayed sticky coverage ability throughout joint sessions and live reps. Outside cornerbacks with elite physical size, track speed, and raw athletic tools are a rare commodity in this league. While Philadelphia's defensive backfield is loaded with talent, several rival defenses are painfully thin on the perimeter. A young cornerback with Ringo's physical profile and affordable rookie contract carries immense value on the trade market, yet his outstanding contributions on special teams make parting ways a difficult pill to swallow. That surplus of talent spills over into almost every position group across the roster. Look at the offensive line, where young offensive tackle Marquil Bell has transitioned rapidly on the practice field. After playing on the left side at Miami, he has adapted quickly to the right tackle spot, giving the coaching staff high hopes for his long-term future as a versatile swing tackle. If the developmental curve of young linemen like Bell allows them to step up, veteran offensive tackle Fred Johnson suddenly becomes an attractive, valuable trade chip for teams desperate for proven, ready-to-play offensive line depth. Turn to the running back room, where Carson Steele has set the preseason alight. In that second exhibition matchup against New England, Steele racked up over 100 all-purpose yards, running with violent physicality, breaking tackles, and even executing a jaw-dropping hurdle that turned into a spectacular touchdown. A roster rarely has room to carry 4 active running backs on game day. And if another franchise is hunting for a dynamic, physical ball carrier who looks every bit like an immediate NFL contributor, Steele's tape makes him prime trade bait. Then you have the defensive trenches and a linebacker core. Edge rusher A.J. Epineza brings a proven track record of productivity from his years in Buffalo and is playing on an extremely cost-effective contract, just above $1 million. With the rise of explosive young rushers like Joshua Uche earning prominent roles, an affordable, battle-tested edge defender like Epineza becomes an enticing luxury that outside contenders would gladly trade for. At linebacker, the depth in the room is borderline overwhelming. Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Smail Mondon, Deontay Lawson, Chance Campbell, and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. have created a fierce logjam. Smail Mondon looks every bit like a future everyday starter, while Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has flashed high-level instinct, field vision, and starting-caliber ability every time he steps onto the gridiron. If an outside team comes knocking with a significant offer, say a second- or third-round draft choice for a dynamic young linebacker like Axman Jr., does the front office stand pat, or do you pull the trigger on a deal that is simply too rich to decline? This brings us directly to our question of the day. If a rival team offered a second-round draft pick right now for Jeremiah Trotter Jr., would you pull the trigger on that deal, or is he completely untouchable for this defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is dividing the fan base down the middle. When you look at trade proposals circulating throughout the football world, several fascinating possibilities emerge that could immediately upgrade key positions. One compelling scenario involves a player swap with the Los Angeles Rams, sending offensive tackle Fred Johnson out west in exchange for tight end Davis Allen. The Rams currently face serious depth questions along their offensive line and desperately need a reliable swing tackle capable of playing both left and right tackle. At the same time, Los Angeles is loaded at tight end with Colby Parkinson, Terrence Ferguson, Tyler Higbee, and the emerging Max Clare, leaving Davis Allen potentially caught in a numbers game on cutdown day. For Philadelphia, the tight end room has distinct roles but clear openings behind Dallas Goedert. Johnny Munt provides dependable blocking, Stone Smart brings flashes of athletic upside, and while E.J. Jenkins fits a practice squad role, rookie tight end Eli Stowers faces a unique transition. Coming out of Vanderbilt, Stowers drew comparisons to a big-bodied wide receiver in the mold of Michael Pittman Jr., with Johnny Wilson sidelined for the season on injured reserve and the receiving core lacking raw physical height. The coaching staff has tested Stowers out wide in preseason action. If Stowers is slated for a hybrid perimeter role rather than everyday inline duties, bringing in a polished, reliable tight end like Davis Allen provides critical offensive balance. Another dynamic trade avenue centers on former Philadelphia wideout Mac Hollins. Hollins established himself as a reliable locker room leader, a ferocious run blocker, and a physical perimeter target who knows how to make timely, tough catches in clutch situations. While New England recently executed a deal sending Kayshawn Bout to the Houston Texans in exchange for safety Jalen Reed, following Jaden Higgins' unfortunate knee injury, the Patriots still maintain wide receiver depth with Romeo Dew, Demario Pop Douglas, and their top targets. However, New England faces uncertainty at their backup quarterback spot behind Drake May, where Tommy DeVito and rookie Bear Morton are competing. If the Patriots look to slide Morton onto the practice squad and want a battle-tested veteran presence in their quarterback room, sending Andy Dalton to New England in exchange for the rugged receiving depth and special teams leadership of Mac Hollins makes logical sense for both sides. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are navigating significant depth concerns at outside cornerback behind Zion McCollum and Benjamin Morrison, with Jacob Parrish, Keenan Garber, and Chase Lucas better suited for the slot and special teams. Todd Bowles' defense is hunting for an athletic, long boundary corner. Khalil Ringo's aggressive coverage traits fit that aggressive defensive scheme seamlessly, and flipping Ringo for a future draft asset would represent pure asset maximization. Finally, two blockbuster concepts proposed by dynamic analysts across social media have completely ignited debate. The first proposes sending speedy wideout Hollywood Brown and a third-round draft pick to the Atlanta Falcons in exchange for premier All-Pro safety Jesse Bates III. While Atlanta already boasts Drake London, Olamide Zakos, Jahan Dotson, and rookie Zachariah Branch alongside hybrid tight and Kyle Pitts, Hollywood Brown would give their passing attack instant, game-breaking vertical speed. In return, Philadelphia would land the ultimate center field ball hawk in Jesse Bates III. Adding Bates would completely transform the defensive backfield into an elite unit, allowing emerging young defensive backs like Andrew Mukuba, Michael Carter, Maxon Hook, and Cameron Kinchins to develop, while keeping dynamic playmaker Cooper DeJean locked in as a dominant, first-team All-Pro nickel corner. The second blockbuster proposal suggests sending linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and a fourth-round pick to the Denver Broncos in exchange for explosive wide receiver Marvin Mims Jr. Denver recently acquired Jalen Waddle to pair with Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, and Troy Franklin, creating a crowded receiver room where Mims could see his target squeezed. After moving on from Dre Greenlaw, Denver has leaned on Alex Singleton and Justin Strnad, and inserting Trotter into Vance Joseph's defense would give them a ferocious, downhill linebacker. For Philadelphia, adding Marvin Mims Jr. would instantly solidify the wide receiver core with a versatile, explosive weapon alongside Elijah Moore and Britton Covey. Trading away a defensive talent with Trotter's bloodline and sky-high potential is a massive risk, but it highlights the sheer wealth of assets this front office has accumulated. Whether it involves dealing away a surplus quarterback, flipping depth along the offensive line, or orchestrating a stunning blockbuster for an all-pro safety, one reality is undeniably clear. This roster is loaded with elite talent, and the front office is ready to strike. The stage is set, the phones are ringing, and the entire league is bracing for the next big move.